Hello fellow agents, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm super excited to walk you through building a secure password manager in Python. We'll be using some fantastic libraries like Click, PyCryptodome, Pyperclip and SQLAlchemy. By the end of this video series you will not only have a fully functioning password manager in your hand, but also gain some deep insights into how to build a secure software in Python. So let's dive into it. First, I'm just going to create an empty directory. You see there is nothing in it. I'm just going to copy a password SQLite file here because that's what the application is going to create. Alright, so this is the file what the password manager is going to create. So let's explore the data. So this entries table, it has just a couple of fields, a site name, email, username and password, and as you see the password is stored securely. It's a complete gibberish. I don't even have a clue how would I ever reverse it back. So first let me demonstrate you how this password manager works. So first I need to install the password manager. For that I'm creating a virtual environment, activating it and installing it into this directory. Alright, until we wait. Sometimes pip is very slow. I don't know why. Alright, so finally it is done. I should have this command. Okay, I see the subcommands what it has, and let's try to list. And be careful, because once you rename, for example, the SQLite file, it won't work because the name of the SQLite file is baked into the software, but this is something what you can improve on. Alright, so let me try to follow through the documentation. The init I don't need to execute because I already have the password file. And let's try to add something to the database. I'm typing the master password. Alright, and if I list it, the fifth row is already injected into the database. Let me try to recover it, and you see that was my secret password 33, and it copies the password into the clipboard. Let's try to retrieve the third. Also, it's a software generated something. It's a complete gibberish, but trust me, it is a secure password. Alright, so this is what you can do. You can get and you can delete entries, and also you can generate a password. For example, if you just want a secure password for some reason, it generates you the password, and that's it. And if so if I add the copy to the end, actually generates the password but copies it to the clipboard, and every time it is a different password. You see, they are all nice gibberish and 32 bytes long. Alright, so first things first, let's set up the project. We will create an empty directory for a password manager and set up a virtual environment and the skeleton of the application. So let's do it. First I'm deactivating the environment and removing this password manager folder completely. So I'm creating it again, and I'm gonna create a module here. Yeah, and I'm creating the dunder_init file in it. If you guys are wondering what are these commands, va and v under, so I just set up a couple of aliases. For example, v dunder is actually creates a dunder_init file, and va actually activates a virtual environment. So let's do that. So we have absolute nothing here, just an empty directory. I'm creating a virtual environment, activating it, and also I will create a couple of files. Requirements.txt, readme.md, and setup.py. Yes. And also, if I go to the password manager, I'm creating a submodule which will hold all the commands what we have. So it's gonna be a module as well. I'm going to create all the command skeletons here. Alright, so here we have all the commands, but they are all empty files. Also, I'm gonna create models.py, which will hold all the SQLAlchemy models and utils for cryptography. And also, the main file, what will be called from the command, is CLI.py. Okay, so let's open up the code editor. First, we start with the requirements file. The requirements.txt is actually a convenient way to store all your software dependencies. So you can call it whoever you want, but most of the time you will find the requirements.txt. So right now, let me check the virtual environment. The virtual environment is ./vmv bin Python. This is what we want. And right now, if I open the terminal, okay, you see at the beginning of the line, it means the actual environment is active. So let me install it, and because it might take a while, I'll wait a bit. I will speed up the video. Until it is installing the dependency, let me walk you through the actual dependency what we are going to use. Click is a very popular Python package which actually helps you to build beautiful command line interfaces in a composable way with a little code as necessary. So this is the first one what we are using. Then PyCryptodome, which basically a collection of cryptographic functions, which will be very useful for us. Pyperclip is a very simple package. The only thing what it does, it copies the text to the clipboard, which also helps us formatting the command line output. And SQLAlchemy will help us to interact with the actual database. So first, let's get started with the setup.py. This file is going to be used by pip when I'm installing the application locally. So we will need a couple of things. So this is the setup function, which we will override later on in this file. We need to import OS, pathlib, and pkg resources. I will set up a constant here. So this is a description. some helper variables is actually pathlib path file parent resolve. What it does, it gets the actual path to this file, and this is the setup file. It takes the parent, which is the password manager folder, and the resolves. So basically it sets this directory to this actual directory. Alright, so first I'm getting the readme. Host path join this directory and the readme.md file. Alright, so I'm reading all the content of the readme and putting it here. I'm gonna do the same with the requirements, but I will need a bit more hacking on it. So I'm just gonna copy this line. But it's not gonna be readme, it's gonna be the requirements txt as req. I'm just gonna create a list comprehension. If you don't know what is the list comprehension, maybe I will create a video about it later on. So strrq for rq in pkj resources parse requirements req. So it will return a list of these requirements. Basically the first element is going to be this string, the second is going to be this one, and so on and so forth. Okay, and the last thing what we need is actually overriding the setup method. So it will contain so much thing. I'm not going to type it out because I don't want you to get bored. Those are mandatory fields, and you see long description is the long description, and the description is the simple description what I just created. Okay, and also I have to provide a URL of the application, the GitHub URL of the application. But if you guys are wondering, yes, I already did, and the application, the full source code is available on GitHub. So the next one is the most crucial one from all of this. So entry points. So basically this section is actually tells which part of the application is callable. Console scripts, and it will have only one console script. It's called AF password manager, and actually from the CLI I'm gonna call the CLI method. Okay, so for this I will need to create that one. So let's create that function. Okay, so if I did everything right now, this application is locally installable if I add the classifiers and the Python requires line to it. so it will run on Python version bigger or equal 3.1. Alright, so let's see how it goes. Let's see if I can install it locally. You see pip install -- editable and dot. Alright, seems it is okay. And if I call the command that I've just created, it returns the app is running. And what is really cool about this editable version, basically it just creates a symlink of the application, and every single time you make a change in your code, you don't need to reinstall the application locally, just call it again and you see there are changes. Alright, so these are the first steps. And that's it for today. I hope this video has piqued your interest. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on Python and software development. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.